A world language is a language that is spoken internationally and is learned by a large number of people as a second language. A world language is characterized not only by the total number of speakers, but also by its geographical distribution, as well as use in international organizations and diplomatic relations. By these criteria, the major world languages are of Western European origin. The historical reason for this is the period of European exploration and colonialism. The most widely spoken and fastest spreading world language is English, which has over 840 million primary and secondary users worldwide. It is also estimated to have as many as 700 million foreign learners of the language, including anywhere between 200 and 350 million users in China alone, at varying levels of study and proficiency, though this number is difficult to accurately assess. English is also increasingly becoming the dominant language of scientific research and papers worldwide, having even outpaced national languages in Western European countries, including in France, where a recent study showed that English has massively displaced French as the language of scientific research in hard as well as in applied sciences. French, which has long been the language of communication and diplomacy, and the favored second language among the elite and the educated classes in Europe, including Russia, Greece, Romania, Bulgaria and Ottoman Turkey, as well as in Egypt, Lebanon, Iran and South America, had declined steadily since World War I, but still remains one of the working languages of many international organizations. Arabic gained international prominence because of the medieval Islamic conquest and the subsequent Arabization of the Middle East and North Africa, and is also a liturgical language amongst Muslim communities outside of the Arab world. Standard Chinese is the direct replacement of Classical Chinese, which was a historical lingua franca in Far East Asia until the early 20th century, and today provides a common language between speakers of other varieties of Chinese not only within China proper, but in overseas Chinese communities. It is also widely taught as a second language internationally. Russian was used in the Russian Empire and the Soviet Union, and today is in use and widely understood in near abroad and former Eastern Bloc. It remains the lingua franca in the Commonwealth of Independent States. Spanish was used in the Spanish Empire and today is in use in Spain, in Latin American countries, and is widely understood and spoken throughout the United States, particularly in the southern United States. German served as a lingua franca in large portions of Europe for centuries, mainly the Holy Roman Empire and later the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It remains an important second language in much of Central and Eastern Europe, and in the international scientific community. The major languages of the Indian subcontinent have numbers of speakers comparable to those of major world languages, primarily due to the large population in the region rather than a supra-regional use of these languages. Although Hindustani, Bengali and to a lesser extent Tamil may fulfill the criteria in terms of supra-regional usage and international recognition. As an example, the native-speaking population of Bengali vastly outnumber those who speak French as a first language, and it is one of the most spoken languages in the world with nearly 230 million total speakers, and is known for its long and rich literary tradition. However, while French is spoken intercontinentally, is internationally recognized to be of high linguistic prestige and used in diplomacy and international commerce, as well as having a significant portion of second-language speakers throughout the world. The overwhelming majority of Bengali speakers are native Bengali people, with not much influence outside of its regionally limited speech-realm or language space. History. Historical languages which had international significance as the lingua franca of a historical empire include Egyptian in ancient Egypt, Sumerian, Akkadian and Aramaic in the various Mesopotamian civilizations and empires in the ancient Near East, ancient Greek and the Greek colonies in the form of various dialects, evolving to Koine Greek in the Hellenistic world, after the conquest of Alexander the Great in the Macedonian Empire, and subsequently in the eastern part of the Roman Empire and the territories of the Byzantine Empire, Latin in the Roman Empire, and presently is the standard liturgical language for the Catholic faithful worldwide. Classical Chinese in East Asia during the imperial era of Chinese history, Persian, during the various succeeding Persian empires, and once served as the second lingua franca of the Islamic world after Arabic, Sanskrit during the ancient and medieval historical periods of various states in South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia, and like Latin an important liturgical language of the Vedic religions. The Romance languages bear testimony to the role of Latin as the lingua franca of the Roman Empire. For example, Italian has always been important in the Mediterranean region, and nowadays it is the most spoken language among members of the Roman Catholic hierarchy, and it is also used in music and the fashion industry. Turkish was similarly important as the primary language of the Ottoman Empire. Koine Greek was the world language of the Hellenistic period, but its distribution is not reflected in the distribution of modern Greek due to the linguistic impact of the Slavic, Arabic and Turkic expansions. The distribution of the Arabic and Turkic languages, in turn, are a legacy of the Caliphates and the Turkic Khaganate, respectively, just as all the living world languages owe their status to linguistic imperialism. The suggestion of a given language as a world language or universal language has strong political implications. Thus, Russian was declared the world language of internationalism in Soviet literature, which at the same time denounced French as the language of fancy courtiers, and English as the jargon of traders. A number of international auxiliary languages have been introduced as prospective world languages, the most successful of them being Esperanto, but none were learned by as many people as the world languages were. Many natural languages have been proffered as candidates for a global lingua franca. Eastern Roman Empire, Koine Greek. Western Roman Empire, Vulgar Latin. Turkic Khaganate, Turkic languages. Living world languages. Some sources define a living world language as having the following properties: a large number of speakers, a substantial fraction of non-native speakers, official status in several countries, use across several regions in the world, a linguistic community not defined strictly along ethnic lines, one or more standard registers which are widely taught as a foreign language, association with linguistic prestige, use in international trade relations, use in international organizations, use in the academic community, significant body of literature. Certain languages with greater than 100 million speakers, such as Japanese, are not listed. Japanese, although considered to be one of the most significant languages internationally, along with the listed world languages, it is not considered a world language per se. Japan as a region is nearly homogeneous from ethnic, cultural and linguistic standpoints. Thus Japanese has little history as a lingua franca amongst communities who do not share a mother tongue or first language. Their overseas communities are strongly tied to ethnicity, while international interest since the 1980s has prompted many major universities, secondary schools, and even primary schools worldwide to offer courses in the language. Japanese only exerts a regionally limited sphere of influence. Languages which are often considered world languages include. Other sources denote the following languages as world languages, whilst stricter sources list them as supraregional languages. Other supraregional languages. Other languages of supra-regional importance which fail some of the other criteria to be considered de facto world languages include